placed in southern Manhattan just below the neighborhood Greenwich Village. The heart of Soho is found between Houston Street to the north, Canal Street to the south, and it's roughly between Crosby Street on the east and 6th Avenue on the west. During the colonial period, Soho was given to freed slaves of the Dutch West Indies Company and was also the place of the first free black settlement on Manhattan Island.
Never be alone. Only you. Never be alone. Only you. Never be alone.
Soho was mostly used for business purposes until the 1950s, when the artists began to move to the area and rented lofts illegally. During this time, Soho was the center of the avant-garde scene. In the 1960s and 70s, developers became interested in preserving the cast iron buildings.
In recent history, Soho came to the public's attention for being the location of many artist lofts and art galleries. Today, Soho is mostly known for its variety of restaurants and shops ranging from trendy boutiques to outlets of upscale, national and international chain stores.
Soho used to be a place where only the strange and the artists would go. Cheap places that didn't have bathrooms or kitchens, and very little that is left. But it has been changed to be expensive high-rises and expensive retail, and it still brings out the elite in both art and both in fashion.
Now this is mostly rich people live in these lofts that were designated solely for artists. These are all artists in residence lofts. That means that really they're just for artists, but the rich have used a loophole in the real estate in order to move in here. But actually they're really just supposed to be artist work living residences.
Soho is one of the largest surviving cast iron districts in the world. A lot of buildings along Broadway and Spring Street were built in cast iron. It was strong, fire resistant and a lot less expensive than stone buildings.
Any place you go, any apartment you see, it's not going to be artists living there. It's going to be bankers and real estate investors or movie stars.
You need it and try to believe it. Take me one step at a time. If this ain't love, it feels like.
From Houston Street, that's what Soho means, south of Houston Street, it was a theater district and then also a printing district. So north of here was where newspapers were created, and that was before there was one dominant newspaper. And so there were artists and journalists, as well as performers and prostitutes and gamblers. And to the south of here was where the police headquarters was about 100 years ago. That was whenever the soon-to-be President Theodore Roosevelt was the commissioner of the New York Police Department.
People, atmosphere, nice restaurants.
Expensive, delicious, and busy. Hard to park.
A lot of beautiful people, though.
We've got will be gone if this ain't love. Feels like, why does it feel like? Why does it feel like? Why does it feel so good?
In the late 1800s, Soho became an industrial district where workers toiled in dangerous conditions. Eventually, in the 1960s, most of the commercial and manufactural buildings were abandoned and Soho was almost destroyed. As of many of New York's neighborhoods, Soho was saved by artists who settled in Soho using the large loft spaces and studios. As artists moved to the district, it became populated with galleries and eventually Soho became the center of Lower Manhattan art scene.
The area's history is an archetypal example of inner-city regeneration and gentrification, encompassing socio-economic, cultural, political, and architectural developments.
Why does it feel so good?